I mean, half of the teams from that get through, so, you know.
That's true.
There's still a 50% chance if you do that. Oh my god, the lack of logos here is
They were
disgusting.
asked to, my understanding is teams without a logo were asked if they wanted to submit one. And neither GxP or Orgless did.
That's such a good, like, if somebody says, "Oh, you can put whatever you like," well, not whatever you want, but like, you're not part of an org, you can give us a logo and we'll put it on stream. That is a golden opportunity. Come on.
That's I'm reminded of the Australian or LCS team from Rocket League, whose logo was a goose wearing a top hat with just very muscular arms.
Yeah, exactly. You can do whatever you want. Like, that's such a... Oh, no dive ban. Hold on.
Now, I don't know if I don't see either of these teams picking dive just straight up, but that means it could end up as our decider.
Ooh, I do like that idea.
It's going to be G-Force, surely, for GxP. Yeah. They're undefeated, backflip in G-Force. Okay. They looked good on those
They're very
maps.
much set in their ways on those then, okay.
It makes
That's
sense.
Good to see. I mean, to be fair, every other team has kind of been switching around every few games right now. So,
absolutely.
We'll see if GxP keep that one to the very end. I mean, if they're yet to find a team who can beat them on it, keep going.
Yeah. And that team, that includes they just straight up pick dive. That's interesting.
Orgless, you just need to win one map and we see dive. You just need to win one map. Come on.
Just a single map. Again,
just one map.
They got pulled apart by Airwalkers on dive yesterday. They did not look confident on it.
There is a possibility we do not get to dive.
But equally, GxP didn't look... Or we didn't get to see them on dive. It got banned away from Solary. I'm worried that could just be a trap pick for Orgless, that it's not going to end well for them at all. But I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, we really don't know if any teams are good at dive yet. Like we
do.
Just
Airwalkers.
Don't know.
Airwalkers
oh, well, okay, Airwalkers. But, yeah, no, but apart from that, I mean, like all of these ones, yeah, it's a scary one. Get your channel point predictions in. This is your way to gain money. This is how it works. This is Gamba.
Yeah.
This is your best opportunity to make money, and it's skill based. So do it. Get going.
What if I predict and then I can maybe steal the points, Twiggy, and then nobody can use them to give us push-ups?
Everybody look up newer inflation.
Well, I'd be nervous if it was out there, honestly.
We will be at some point. Now I've mentioned it, somebody's going to make it.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's any talented artists in the Trackmania community that could do that.
Let's not ask that. Right, we are about to get underway with... Why not? The Saturday matches. Saturday, October the 14th, and GxP are taking on Orgless. This to remain in the World Championship. The loser will be the first team officially eliminated from the World Championship itself, Twiggy.
Yeah, that is actually, like, when I was like, oh, damn, I'm going to miss yesterday's games, that was kind of sad. And then I was like, hold on, nobody's getting eliminated. That means tomorrow is just going to be horrific. There's just going to be Game of Thrones levels of teams getting absolutely destroyed out of the competition here. This is going to be great.
Yeah.
That's what you love to see.
I mean,
no, there's actual stakes now. There's actual stakes.
Yeah, okay. Just the way you said it seemed very kind of bloodthirsty, like a little bit aggressive in how you were describing that.
I like to see a bit of drama.
Yeah, Twiggy. This is it. This is map 1. And we are underway. The teams have decided to go with a first pick here of Twisted. This is the pick for Orgless, and well, I guess we'll wait and see how it works out for them.
Yeah, well, right now, out in front just about Beta Toast. I mean, obviously, we saw Beta Toast doing incredibly well back in the wildcard stage. Definitely the standout of the team. Henken had a difficult time keeping up at that point, and obviously now you're playing against these teams that have that Grand League experience. Even more difficult now, so push to their limits. But right now, Beta Toast is keeping up.
And there were maybe question marks over Orgless and Hugo specifically coming in. Orel obviously has the credentials to play at this level, but Hugo, I think, was keeping up yesterday. The issue was that just neither of them was really able to keep up with Airwalkers on that one. They were just a little bit behind, but right now versus GxP on round 1 on Twisted, it is working out nicely for Orgless. They are looking to get across the line with a 1-2, a 104.483 for Orel is the time to beat in this lobby, and it's 3-0 to kick things off.
Yeah, you'd expect it, obviously, Orgless's map pick, but I think that's good for GxP. They are close by in the first round of their opponent's map pick. You know, at a certain point, map picks really shouldn't matter, but I think especially for teams that have come through the wildcard stage, it is going to matter quite a lot what the map picks are and how well you can play on your opponent's best maps. And right now, things are looking good. That is definitely not insurmountable. That, you know, like a few tenths difference is definitely doable here. They could bring this one back.
They definitely could, but it is, as soon as we hit that kind of middle section there, those first couple of drifts and things like that, which really is the first place, in my opinion, you can make or break this map, where you can really start to pick up time. Orgless, both players immediately start to pull away from GxP, and that's not a great sign if you're looking for GxP to meant to come back on the map.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those maps, one of the few maps in the map pool right now where every kind of turn can gain or lose you a couple of tenths if you do it just a little bit wrong, if you get a tiny bit of airtime, if your wheels lift off the ground for too long, just like that. There you go. Beta Toaster flying out a little bit there. You know, you're not going to be losing massive, you're not going to go down 5 seconds in this map unless you do something absolutely horrific, but that is much more likely, and Orgless just have the edge on this map.
6-0. No mistakes yet from either of the two French players. Hugo and RL are looking solid to kick things off. Will it continue on the rest of the maps in this pack? They have picked Dive as map number 5, and, well, we'll see how we go there. If Orgless win this one, it feels very likely that we do end up seeing Dive, and I'm unconvinced about the fact that they picked that map.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see.
We will.
We've still got a lot to learn when it comes to Dive. We'll see if certain teams are more confident on it, but right now, GxP really need to focus on what is in front of them. If you start off the series with a 12-0, that's a pretty scary situation to be in, even if it is your opponent's map pick, even if you know that they're going to be good on that map. You really do want to be at least making them sweat a little bit right now. And right now, Orgless not having to worry too much. It seems like every single turn they are gaining a little bit of time. Orl just needs to get a couple more positions. I don't think it's going to happen. It might just be a round win for GxP. Oh dear, no, that's not perfect at all. Beta Toast does come in first place, a PB with a 104.437. A good round with Hugo following up 15 thousandths behind, but just a draw for them.
That is the PB, though, for Beta Toast, and that's essentially the time that Orgless have been consistently setting. Which, again, great for Beta Toast that they can get that PB when necessary, they can win a single round, but that doesn't inspire confidence in, yes, this is a consistent time, this is something that we can do consistently to win rounds. And when you're already 7-1 down, when Orgless are already on their track point, yeah, I don't know. It's probably Orgless winning map 1 here, and it's time to start thinking about map 2 for GxP.
Yeah, for sure. And here's the thing, GxP's map picks so far have been, you know, really astounding. Perfect, yeah, exactly. Not getting beaten out on them whatsoever. Which means that they have a pretty secure start to a series. Any series they go up into, they should have a pretty secure start. Now, obviously, that's going to change when we get to different teams, but it was against Solaria. Like, that's one of the... if you're going to have a trial by fire, that's a pretty good way to do it.
Yeah, they look very good. That's a full crash from Orl, and all of a sudden, maybe a chance for GxP to get something done. What can Hugo do here? Trying to hold off Beta Toast, and it will be Hugo through into first place. Beta just losing a little bit of traction there around the final turn means that Henken and Beta settle for second. Decent times again, but it's 8-2.
Yeah, GxP have the pace. Now both setting PBs within that kind of area that Orgless are reguing on this map, but it's obviously not going to be enough for this map. There is pretty much no situation in which GxP make their way back through this one. But it's good. It means that even on their opponent's map pick against a team that really should be beating them out, if we look at seeding and obviously the experience that the players have, they can still contend with them. They can still push them to their limits.
These last couple of rounds definitely haven't been as clean for Orgless as the first couple. Mistakes have come through, and just in terms of pace, GxP are waking up a little bit. Too little, too late. But, you know, at least they're giving themselves an extra couple of rounds to warm up here on Twisted.
Yeah. Orel once again in first position. Beta Toast is going to try and take that back. GxP still fighting for every single round. Henken gets a better line there than Hugo, who goes very wide, and it's a real nice line actually from Henken. That might actually just gain a couple of tenths heading into the final few turns of the map. But right now, it looks like Orgless are just a little more comfortable here at the end as well. The line's a little bit better, although Beta Toast may just get out ahead. It's a brilliant round once again. 100th between the top two players, and Beta Toast is really putting together amazing times. It's another draw. It's not enough for GxP. They need 2 aces in a row.
Orgless got 2 aces to start this map off on, and then GxP have managed to hold them to 3 draws in a row. Bit of a shame. I feel like we've been robbed of what could have been a really exciting map here, given that Orgless did just get out to such a big lead so early on. And GxP, when it comes to the end of this match, maybe kicking themselves for how easily Twisted did go over it. Now that they're showing they absolutely can compete on it, it's just a shame, and it's just a bit sad.
Yeah. Well, on to next map, pretty much. I think there is going to be a point for Orgless in the next 3 rounds. I can guarantee you that. And yeah, no, we'll just have to see. Like, the thing is, obviously, GxP, they've had their kind of time on their map picks. The storyline is going to become whether or not they can keep up that unbeaten streak on those maps. It's going to be difficult. You know, there are so many good teams that they're going to come up against. It may just have been that Solary were having a bit of an off day on those maps. Specifically, Henken pushes a little too hard. That is going to give away the points that Orgless need. It's another good time from Beta Toast, but it is not enough to beat out Hugo with a 104.304. And 11-4 is the scoreline. Time now to head to map 2. And GxP, they didn't pick G-Force first. It was backflip, correct? So
it is backflip that we're going to first. That was really close, though. That final round, literally up until the beginning of that identity when Henken made the mistake, all 4 players were on 104 or below pace. So, yeah, I can't help but feel that if you replay that map after GxP are a little bit more ready for it, you know, if that was map 3 in the match instead of map 1, we get a really, really close fight between those 2 teams there. And GxP will now be looking to strike back as hard and as fast as Orgless did at the start of that map, because they kind of need to now. Orgless have just gotten away with that one a little bit.
Yeah, and this is kind of what we saw in the group stage of the wildcard as well, is that teams had their picks, they were really good at them. You'd have a 10-3 and then a 10-3 and then a 10-3 and then a 10-3, and the map, you know, the series would go on pretty much to the very end, with every team just having these maps that they're good at. The other team could not beat them. We may be looking at a very similar thing here. You know, these teams definitely have strong picks. Orgless look very confident there. They really were not giving away much time at all. The worry for me is that backflip is not a consistent map at the best of times. Maybe GxP will be more consistent than Orgless, but that does not mean that, you know...
Yeah.
Like, having a comfort pick that is this kind of flip-floppy is a little worrying.
They definitely did still make their fair share of mistakes yesterday against Solary. Now, it was less than Solary, and so they did kind of get away with it, and they did have some really good rounds. And this is a very good start for them as well. Henken is 4.5 seconds behind. Orel is going to drop to about half a second behind Henken as well. Beta Toast is going to survive that, I think. Yep, but a little bit slow. Just drops back to alongside
slow down
Orel.
To join. Yeah, exactly. Just join his teammate back there, and now they have a good second gap on Orel. They just need to get things done nicely here. It's a good jump from both of them. Beta's a little slow, might have to respawn. Indeed, that is what's going to happen, and Orel should be taking second place here. Henken securely in first. Beta Toast should be able to get, just about third there. Hugo only a 10th behind, but that's a first round victory for GxP. It's exactly what they need to get started. And yeah, here's the thing. Backflip is always going to be a bit like this. You know, a tiny little mistake makes itself into a need to respawn situation. Luckily, that final checkpoint is not at the start of the identity. It's midway through the identity. And so you can get that one done. But yeah, I think GxP should have it. I think, you know, this is one of those maps where it's not going to come down to how consistent you are. It's just how little mistakes you're going to make compared to the other team, if you get what I mean.
Are those not the same thing, Twiggy? Those sound very
similar. No, because I think if you're good at a map like Cosmos or something like that, it's very much, we're going to get every round cleanly. You need to set good times, as opposed to this, where it's, we'll respawn once or twice. You just need to respawn less than us, you know?
So you're saying they need to be consistent at getting through the map.
I'm sorry, but you cannot be consistent on this map. It's not. I'm not using. Okay, I refuse to see that.
I understand what you mean a little bit. Beta Toast leads from Hugo, who will crash, and all of a sudden the way opened, except Henken is going to full crash that one. Hugo will be in the lead. Beta Toast is way off in front at the moment. Is Beta going to make it? Yes, they are. It's Hugo behind Orel, behind Beta Toast, who has already finished, and that's fine. Hugo will cross the line. It's a draw. That's a backflip round for sure. There is something that's particularly on this identity that we did see in the first round from Beta Toast that ended up being relevant because, you know, Beta came third by a 10th in front of Hugo, which is recognizing when you've lost enough speed that you're not going to be able to make the final jump and respawning early. And that literally, you saw it, right? If Beta in that first round had respawned a 10th and a half later, which is really not very much, then they lose they draw that round, and all of a sudden we're sitting at 2-2 instead of 3-2.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, look, that last one, you're going to lose, what, 2 seconds if you respawn, maximum. If you do it immediately after you hit the checkpoint. And yeah, that's the thing, right? If you know you're not going to have enough speed, or maybe you're just, you know, I've seen a lot of players have enough speed, but still respawn because they're not 100% sure. It's a good sign. I think that it shows, you know, a good willingness to have a little bit of risk in there, but not too much. And right now, Henken's a little further down, but at least not 20 seconds. Hugo had some difficulty with the bug slide at the start there. It's going to send him all the way back down. And yeah, I mean, Hugo's out of this round completely. It is just whether or not GxP can get 3 points, whether it's just 2 for them. Beta Toast clean once again. That should be a full finish. Orel should get it as well, but we'll see how the angle looks. That's a little worrying. Slow speed. Henken isn't close enough to capitalize off of it, but should still get there. It's a PB from Beta Toast, and a very convincing one at that, a 107.436. Yeah,
it's a really good time. Now, it is obviously 8/10 behind world record, but you kind of have to ignore the world record on this map. That's a really, really good time in rounds from Beta Toast here. Jean-René's time it's a little bit absurd.
Yeah, that is that's really cooking. Like, I don't recall the world record being a 106
no,
when I last cast this map.
That is within the last, since the stream ended yesterday.
Yeah, wow, that's very impressive. I don't know if it, like, that's another one of those, the Edge one, where it's just like, nobody's going to get within a second, like, really, consistently. Yeah, like, you're not going to regu that time whatsoever. The world record is always going to be pretty much insurmountable in rounds.
Yeah.
We've seen players get within, like, half a second every now and then, but apart from that, not really happening. This round, a lot closer for Orgless. It's very high from Orel. He's going to lose a lot of speed, but right now, Hugo versus Beta Toast up at the top is very fervent. A decent battle up here, and it's all going to come down to how clean you get this final jump, or if you make it at all.
Yeah, it's going to be really close. Orgless are pushing aggressively to try and get a round win here to maybe close that gap back down a little bit. Hugo flips high, Orel flips very low, but gets a lot of speed out of it. Hugo is going to have to double respawn there. Keep an eye on that. Beta Toast should be getting to the finish. Henken has respawned again behind as well. That time from Beta Toast is amazing, and it'll end up being a draw.
That is wild. Orel almost hitting crossbar as well. But Beta Toast setting a really, really nice time. Orel was never going to get anywhere near that. I mean, Orel set a good time as well. A 108 is nothing to scoff at. Like a 108 flat, nothing to scoff at whatsoever. But a 107 flat almost is incredibly good. And that is why GxP like picking this map. Yes, it has not been perfect whatsoever. Ooh, that's not perfect at all from Orel. It's PF. Interesting. Either way. But yeah, no. Yeah, as I say, it hasn't been perfect whatsoever, but you don't need perfection on backflip. You probably won't need it in the grand finals. No. Like, that is this map. It's never going to be consistently, I don't think, played. If we see a team that gets like a 12-0 on this map, without a respawn, it's going to be insane scenes.
Henken, what doing?
Wow. Yeah, that's a lot of mistakes that I haven't seen before on this map.
Henken has respawned again.
Oh dear.
All right, we'll see what Hugo's up to, because things are happening behind, and I don't really want to go back there and see what's going on further back on this map.
That's fine.
But we will check in. The gap is currently set such that Orgless are winning this round. And to be clear, this is not a new team called Orgless. It is just Orel and Hugo playing without an Org. And it's easier to say Orgless than Orel and Hugo every time.
Whoa,
that's a little bit dodgy, but should be okay. It's going to land awkwardly.
No, I wouldn't have gone for that. Just as the respawn there. We'll get it second time, but Beta Toast is already overtaken, which means no extra points for Org, still just trailing a little bit.
Yeah, that's a round on backflip. GxP are up by 2 points, and they find themselves on track point, looking to guarantee that we get to dive during this match. It was locked in as pick number 5, the third pick for Orgless on this one. Well, they'll need to make a little bit of a comeback here, and Hugo's going to fully slide out. That'll make life a little bit more difficult. All three of the other players are cleanly through that drift, though. But Henkin and BetaToast lead the way in a 1-2, looking to ace, looking to close this out quickly. Yeah,
should be fine for them at this point. All they need to do is just make it work. The likelihood is that Orel also will not get through unscathed. So even if they do respawn, that's not the end of the world. They just need to be very aware of whether or not they're going to fail each jump, because then they can maximize the amount of time they get out of everything instead of waiting and having an awkward respawn and everything like that. As we mentioned earlier, it takes you know, a lot of willpower to be able to go, I'm not going to make this jump, let's go back. Orel makes up a little bit of time there heading up into the uphill, and actually quite a lot. Overtakes Henkin by a couple attempts now. Lots of speed heading into the identity. The landing is good. It should be a secure second place, unless Henkin has just a little bit more speed, a better angle. Will Orel make it? I thought he was going to bash into the side there. Henkin is the one who respawns. May just be another draw here for GxP. They're making their way there. It's a little slow.
Henkin wanted that overtake on Orel at the end.
Yeah.
And trying to line it up ends up a little bit too far to the left. Had to respawn because was missing the finish line. Draw is okay for GxP, though. They're still the only team on track point. Orgless still sitting 4 points away. Means they need a couple of round wins. But 2 round wins for Orgless is enough to tie us up at 10 points at this point. They're not at a position where they need an ace. And Henkin, a little bit slow off the start line, means maybe another draw, maybe a chance for Orgless to tie things up.
Yeah, I mean, GxP are keeping them at arm's length, but no further than that whatsoever. I mean, they've got themselves to a situation where, you know, winning the map is more likely than not, but you can't really say much more than that. There is a world in which Orgless can still take this, especially on a map that is this inconsistent for every team. Anything really can happen. I think, you know, the more practiced team will win most of the time, but most of the time is not all of the time. We will see how that works out this time around. A couple of draws is good enough here for GxP, and it looks like that is the way this round is going to go. BetaToast heads into the identity first. Orel trails, Hugo trails from that one as well. Speed is looking good for every single player. They should all hold position. Henkin is catching up quite a bit. Actually, may get the overtake done, but the second bounce is not quite as good as the first. Can't quite make it happen, loses out on that, but there was a world in which Henkin got that double overtake done. That is a clean round for backflip.
It was really clean. BetaToast has been driving out of his mind. That was another 107.4.5 from BetaToast as well. GxP, the most likely team to win right now.
Yes.
Especially now.
Yeah,
I was about to say,
okay.
Unless there's an ace by Orgless, but Orel has dropped down by 3, maybe 4 seconds by the time you reach that next checkpoint. And GxP, they just need one car in the top 2. BetaToast has been that car over and over.
Yeah, should just get this one done. 1 point is all they need. Henkin has joined him up in the top 2 as well. Hugo now trying to hold off both GxP players. A draw is not enough. Oh, okay, Henkin's gone. Orel can now get this overtake done, and maybe there is a possibility that Orgless can get this. This is the last round, no matter what. GxP just need a car in the top 2, and right now the only person that can do that is BetaToast. Henkin is completely out of this round, but Hugo makes a critical error, gives BetaToast more time to get the identity done, just needs to get it once here. One respawn even should be fine, but that is good speed, and BetaToast should be bringing this map home for GxP to send them to a map 3.
BetaToast, I think, won nearly every round that we played here.
Yeah.
And then it was just up to Henkin to occasionally beat one of Orel and Hugo. Did it often enough. It wasn't very often. The points gap is not massive when we finish the map off, but GxP do tie us up at 1-2-1, both teams winning their first map pick.
And most importantly, this means that we are going to see dive. That I don't care about anything else right now. Those first 2 maps did not happen. We've got dive. That is what is going on here. That is the what we're going to get to see if Orgless can back up their pick.
We're still a little ways away. We got to get through a couple more maps before we do actually get there. But yeah, we get to see dive today, which is well, that's exciting. We're going to Edge first of all, though, which is going to be equally exciting. Now, you may have noticed that a lot of our current world records are being held by members of G1. Twiggy, they showed up yesterday, and they kind of did just smash it. They were everything that we were expecting from most of our TMGL teams, but more so. Gwen and Binks are scary today, yesterday. They're scary the whole time.
Yeah, no, I definitely, I took a look at the, obviously I didn't get to watch the games because I was out of the house, but I took a look at the scores and everything, and yeah, that does look quite scary. And I will take a look at the VOD another time, but obviously we're gonna get to see a bit of it today. Yeah, I mean, Gwen has like all the time been incredibly good. You remember last season Gwen having like pretty much most of the records, just you know, just being very good at the game. It's a scary one, especially going into a World Championship like this.
No, it really is. Here's Twiggy wearing cat ears, just for those who needed to see them.
I'll take them off for the map, and then I'll put them back on at the break.
Yeah, no, makes sense. Absolutely. Yeah. But we are, look, honoring requests here. There's been a few mistakes already. Orel out to a 2-second lead. Hugo is sitting 2 seconds then behind Henkin and Beta Toast with a lot of mistakes, is setting a very long way down. If Hugo can overtake Henkin, this is the dream start for Orgless.
Is indeed, and, well, obviously it's Orgless's pick. They're going to want to take this map. Henkin now out ahead, just trying to split that difference, make sure there is no ace coming through. It's a difficult situation if a team does head 3 points abreast of you at the start of the round, but that is good enough for GxP. They're holding on for now. It's the same start that they had on backflip, and that one ended very close, so there is a possibility here that GxP keep up. And this is the thing, right? I think what is impressive to me is that GxP, having come all the way through wildcard group stage, and being a team that we didn't necessarily expect to get through that stage of the competition with the other teams that were in it, is keeping up with Orgless here. Yes, Orgless may not be the strongest Grand League, seeded team on this, but they're a very good team, and GxP are keeping up with them on their map picks, and that's what's impressive.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously Orel has the credentials. Orel has been playing in Grand League this whole time, but I think the question marks for a lot of people would have been over Hugo. Not necessarily a name a lot of people know. Oh, there's Hugo crashing out at the same time. But Hugo did come fourth in XP Evo there recently, playing under a different name, was playing as Poopy Poo at the time. So that listen, Hugo has the credentials as well as a very good player of Trackmania, no matter what name they're playing under. Maybe just not in this round. Orel is going to finish in first place, 105.358. Henkin in second. Beta Toast should come back in third, and Hugo will settle for fourth. It's a draw, and I'm going to go and open a window.
Okay, good for you. Love that. And GxP once again. The thing is, Edge is another one of those maps where you're not going to be losing tenths, you're going to be losing whole seconds. You make a mistake, you respawn, that's about it. You have to redo it all over again, and it's one of those maps where consistency is so much more important than pace. And, well, I mean, that's kind of the case with any map that is like this, an RPG-esque map, where you're doing tricks, you're doing stunts. Look, there's no situation in rounds in which you are focusing solely on jump height on a pipe jump. It's just ridiculous if you're going for that every single time. You're going to make more mistakes than you're going to gain time. The risk is not worth the reward that you get out of that unless you are unbelievably consistent. So you've got to pass that hurdle first. Yeah,
consistency is important, and Hugo doesn't have it on this hole in the ground at the moment. That's a mistake in the first 2 rounds on that section of track. It is a very difficult section of track, of course. But it will be another respawn for Hugo, who continues to drop down. And this is GxP now looking to tie this round up.
Yeah, should be able to hold position and get a round win here. Get that 4-4 scoreline for themselves. Beta Toast just needs to stay ahead of Orel. It's clean up to the very end. Beta Toast setting a new PB, a 104.9. Very good time as well. Henkin only 1 second behind his teammate. Orel splits the difference between the two. We move to the next round with a 4-4 scoreline, so things staying close here. Hugo needs to get that consistency down.
And Orgless, this was their best map yesterday, when they lost 4-0 to Airwalkers. This is the only one they even got to a track point on, and the map did finish 10-9 in Airwalkers' favor. Orgless definitely looked more solid here than they did almost anywhere else. GxP are still tied with them at 4-4. This is still very much up in the air, and if GxP can take the win here, we go to GeForce, where GxP are undefeated and look really, really good. Orgless are going to be in a lot of trouble in this match.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we will see if they can keep up with GxP for this one. Obviously, anything can happen. as is the nature of competitions, you can just have an off day, and Hugo seems to be having an off day here on Edge, not able to get through this kind of middle section of the track whatsoever. Orel now needs to force the draw, staying about a couple tenths ahead of BetaToast for the time being, almost half a second now, but it's all going to come down to the final few jumps. Do GxP want to risk something here and try and go for some lower jumps? BetaToast makes up a decent amount of time. It may not be enough to get the overtake done in time for the finish line, though. Orel being pressured gets it done, but Henken can't keep up with it. It's fine. He got there. Is he there quick enough? Oh, he's not! Oh my lord, it comes down to 39 thousandths. But Henken can't get over the line backwards before Hugo can overtake.
Henken trying to reverse across the line as Hugo is barreling down on him. Is incredible. That's an esports, certified Trackmania esports moment right there.
That is, I mean, a tough decision to make there. Oh no, Henken has been affected by that round, definitely. Respawns off the bat, down by about 5 seconds, or, well, 8 seconds. Wow, thank you very much, Live Ranking, for keeping me up to date on that one. And BetaToast now needs to come in first place, which has been relatively difficult so far for GxP on this map specifically. I think Orel is definitely, I would say, the fastest player here, whether or not that is a consistent, like a regu time. Does seem like the fastest player. BetaToast, however, this round ahead. Yes, and Hugo has made it through the middle section of the map. Now can he put enough pressure on BetaToast here to try and get more than 1 point out of this round?
Yeah, I mean, maybe. It's very, very close, and there is time to be gained and lost on these final platforms. Hugo's lost a little bit of speed on the entry, is going to nearly fall off, and so BetaToast will hold on, or else snipes the second place away from their teammate, and it's going to be a draw. Orgless maintain a 1 point lead.
Yeah, I'm gonna come home just to get, well, I was gonna say, like, some glory, but it's coming forth isn't glory per se. More like...
Bit gory?
Bit gory. I feel like no. Trackmania is an E-rated game.
A truly brutal showing.
Yeah, sure. Like, you know what? This is my stream. You're allowed to say that. I think we'd be told off for saying that on the Trackmania channel.
Almost definitely, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. To be fair, the most we've ever got is told off a little bit. We've never...
That's true. Like, hey guys, can you stop actively talking about competitors' games the entire time?
Yeah, that we have had that a couple times. Just, can you, like, not really do that as much? That would be nice.
Yeah.
But, like, I like it. It's a good... The fact that all we've ever got is like,
Henken.
Just you know, Henken gets through it. It's fine. Loses a lot of time though. BetaToast once again is holding off both players from Orgless, and holding them off really just isn't quite enough. Okay, well that could do. Get them back to an 8-8 scoreline would be absolutely lovely. Orel trying to get the overtake on BetaToast, but Henken is now ahead of Hugo, and that's what's important in this round. BetaToast once again going to come home. First place, a 105 flat. Henken will come third. No mistakes this time around. No going backwards over the finish line. Maybe that is going to be the case for Hugo, though. It's fine. Gets it done in the end, but 8-8 the scoreline, and either team really can win here.
I have been reminded that yesterday, if BetaToast did well, he did become Alpha Toast.
Oh, of course.
But also it's been pointed out in chat that an Alpha is, you know, further away from full release than a Beta, so maybe today is full release Toast.
Okay, sure.
Version 1.0 Toast.
Yeah, that depends on whether you want to go on shaky biology, you know, with wolves.
Yeah, or software engineering. So I'm on board with version 1.0
To be fair,
Toast.
There's only one of those that is a real thing, and that is full release.
That's an Alpha Toast move right there. Very bug prone.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, no. Orgless may just take it with a sweep here on the final round to get that ace, get over the line. It was a difficult affair, for sure. But definitely, I mean, it is their map pick. They should be getting it done, and it's more been kind of not what we expect, that it was this close once again on this one. BetaToast has respawned even more times.
Alpha version, it makes sense. Hey, it's an ace! Orgless win their map pick. That's important.
That is important. 11-8, the scoreline to finish things off. Once again, not a simple task for Orgless. They did not make it look easy, but they got it done. That's what matters. We are going to be heading now to GeForce again. GxP have not lost on that map And yeah, I think for sure they should be winning it. We will see how Orgless do, but I don't think they're going to be doing much better than GxP.
And then dive.
And
map
then
5.
dive.
Which, that's, again, I just have this feeling that that's where this match goes off the rails for Orgless. They didn't look abysmal yesterday on dive. Airwalkers just looked very good on it. So I guess, Twiggy, we'll just wait and see. I'm not letting people see the warm-up. You don't deserve to see the warm-ups. Listen, if we get a few more Twitch Primes, then we'll show people the thing. Yeah, well.
Ooh, wow. Wow, that's
it's not my channel. I'm allowed
it's
to
not
give
your
out to
channel.
people.
Hey, whoa. I'm not gonna tell you off. Look, I'm not gonna say it, but I'm not gonna stop you from saying it. I'll put the cat ears on at the end of the map. Well, that's or not at the end of the map, at the end of the series, because then we'll have more camera time. Otherwise,
can somebody? Did we not see someone beat Paco's time here yesterday? Did G1 not beat that at some point? Am I losing my mind? I might be losing my mind, Twiggy.
Did they? Alright, well, I don't know. You're the one who watched the games.
Yeah. Whatever. Either way, Paco's time.
It's a very good time.
292 is a very good time, yeah. And
absolutely.
I guess we'll see if anyone can get close to it here. I'd be surprised, despite how good GxP have been on this map, because that is very, very fast. Both players from Orgless go for the outside line and more speed down into the bobsleigh. Will it pay off for them around the outside? Not quite. Betatoast still holds on to that lead. Hugo the closest to sliding out, but will hold on. And it's good exits for everyone.
Yeah, Henkin did really well there. Caught right back up with both Orgless players. Betatoast still out ahead. Hugo goes for the inside line. Less exit speed, but it does get you just a little bit of boost heading through into this next part. Henkin down by 1/10 from both of these French players here, and now he overtakes one, and the second one respawns. It's looking like an ace for GxP, and it's definitely looking like that they are the more confident team on this map. Henkin should get that one done. Good times from both players there on GxP. Henkin was in 4th place pretty much up until the very end, and still got a 113.5, so that is quite impressive. Well, 113.61, but...
Yeah, and it was a 12.428 by Binks yesterday is what I was thinking of, which does not beat Paco's time, but I think just goes to show how impressive that time by Paco is. I'm like, oh, someone got within 1/10 of it? They must have managed to, like, do something, because I remember thinking that was incredibly impressive. Paco's time was just mad.
Yeah, that is very impressive. I wonder if we will see a team beat that one. I assume we will towards the end of the competition, but I don't think... I'm not sure if we're going to get it in the middle stage. It would be quite impressive if we did. I think a lot of the quicker players that we've had injected into the competition probably need a little more match time to warm up into that and get closer to the times that I assume they have in offline servers. So
Hugo? Oh, it's Henkin who made the mistake.
Henkin? Everyone. A little bit.
Kind of everyone. Except Betatoast. Yeah. Version 1.0 Toast races off into the distance. And absolutely, all crashes have been fixed. Looking great. Henkin has fallen 3 seconds behind. Hugo and RL are just hoping for a mistake from Betatoast, but it feels unlikely to happen. So looking like a draw at the moment as long as RL and Hugo can get to this end cleanly.
Yeah, Betatoast has been an absolute machine so far this whole World Championship, and it doesn't look like he shows any sign of stopping here on his favorite map from what I can tell. And a 113.374 is another convincing time, a PB from Hugo. 1.6 seconds behind, but obviously that's because they haven't really played many live rounds on these. But yeah, 4-1 now the scoreline. A draw is good enough for GxP. Pretty much over the course of this one, if they maintain a 3-point difference, they'll be quite happy.
Yeah, GxP... they're undefeated for a reason on this map, and quite a lot of that reason, I think, on pretty much every map they were made undefeated on is Betatoast. Has looked really, really good all competition long, and that continues to hold true throughout the start of GeForce this time around, aka the hamster map, and it's very solid.
It is very solid this round, much closer off the bat. But obviously we haven't got to any other parts that do tend to separate players just yet. Going to head into that section very shortly. Oral goes too far outside, clips the wall, is going to have a lot less speed. Oh my, that's a new line. Not sure that one works. Made himself part of the flora and fauna at the edge of the track there, and now it is just Beta Toast and Henken making a sandwich with Hugo here, needing to grab a couple more points out of this one. Henken needs to join his teammate up there. Obviously did it in the first round, but that was because Hugo respawned at the end of the map. Can he get a clean overtake here? Hugo does lose a bit of time there, and Henken has more speed heading into the final turn. Could just get this overtake done. It's going to be incredibly close between these two. Beta Toast is securely in first place, but Hugo holds on to second just about.
Oh, damn, Beta.
That is wild. 1:12.348 might just be the second best time that we've seen on this map all competition.
Yeah. That's quick. And it's good enough for a win as well. Henken holds on for third place. It was a much better time from Hugo as well. That was pretty much level, I think, with, kind of where Beta was in the last round. Unfortunately, Beta Toast went a full 7/10 quicker at the same time. Orel's been struggling on that entry into the bobsleigh in the middle of the map. That's 2 rounds in a row with a touch on the outside wall. Both members of Orgless are going for the outside dirt line to try and get a bit more speed going into it, and it's just not really been working out. I'd be surprised to see an adjustment on the fly, Orel going for a different line now, but really does need to clean that up this round.
Yeah, I think that will be a thing for next series if it continues to happen. Oh no, Orel goes inside this time, does not want to risk it. Less speed. Hugo feeling a little more confident, goes around the outside and is going to get one overtake done for his troubles. Apart from that, oh, very nice turn as well. Straight up into first place by quite a long way, but GxP have split the difference between Hugo and their teammate Orel now at the back, and well, GxP are much more the consistent team here on the identity. Beta Toast kisses the wall a little bit there, but not close enough to actually get a slowdown. Orel trying to get this overtake done. The first wall ride is good, but not good enough. GxP players, again, just gaining time every single turn here. Hugo is trying to hold him off, is just about quick enough to do so. That was an awkward finish, but got the job done. A draw is still not enough for them, though. 3 points is all they've gained over the course of this map.
Yeah, I mean, it's not nothing. They have been kind of sticking around, looking for a GxP mistake. They've been in position to capitalize if it happens. Yeah. Just kind of hasn't happened, really. I mean, that was the closest we got with a slow round from Beta Toast and Henken, but unfortunately, Orel just a little bit too far away to take full advantage of that opportunity and pick up a round win for Orgless. And if GxP just continue to not really make any big mistakes from here on out, you have to feel that that probably does start to do it for this map. Orgless have gotten away quickly this time, but if they can't hold on to it, if there is a mistake again, then this is done. I'm impressed so far. This is a good start, Twiggy.
It's a very good start, and they both go for the outside line this time around. Not fully, but quite a bit more of the outside of the dirt than the GxP players like to go for. Beta Toast looking for an overtake here. There's one slide out from Hugo. That little bit of inconsistency coming through from both of those players there. Henken does not get the bug slide, but it's just going to drive around the corner and should stay ahead of Hugo, unless there is a massive amount of speed coming through there. Beta Toast now on the hunt for first position here, trying to get his team to 9 points at the very least. Orel gets a slowdown on the first one. Did he get around that corner? I'm not 100% sure. He does get there. That's good enough. And Henken, oh no, he knew he wasn't going to make the jump. I don't know if he would, but that gives away second place to Henken, and I really doubt there is going to be a mistake at the end from this player. It's been looking good so far, and that is the map. We're heading to dive with a 2-2 scoreline, and that is a very convincing one. 10-3 for GxP.
There have been a surprising amount of maps this World Championship where we've had decisive rounds where one player finishes for an ace, like 7 seconds behind their teammate or more, which maybe just goes to show how difficult these maps are. Maybe it goes to show that there is still room for more practice and more improvement between now and Montpellier for some of these teams. Twiggy's wearing cat ears. It's the perfect time because we're going to dive. And if there's one thing we know, it's that cats love water.
I know some cats that like water. I never had a cat that liked water, but I know people who bathe their cats.
It's weird. I've never had a cat, so,
I've had 2 in my lifetime.
Oh.
And they have been lovely.
Oh.
Their names were Bertie Bot and Popocatépetl.
Did you by any chance read any Harry Potter growing up?
that my sister did the first one, named that, and then I think we all came up with Popocatépetl. I don't know why that was a thing. Poppy for sure.
Kind of fun to say though. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, exactly.
Twiggy, we gotta focus. Twiggy, it's
We've
dive.
We've gotta focus.
We're seeing dive again. This is Orgless's pick. GxP, it's working better for them. The first mistake comes from Hugo. A full crash early in the map. And Orel sits behind both Beta Toast and Henkin, but is gaining on Henkin so much speed. And what we have seen on the one occasion that I saw dive yesterday is that any slight hesitation, any slight release is just bad. It's just very bad on this map. I mean, it is essentially a full speed map.
It is a full speed map with it's a quirky full speed map with a little bit of swag. That is what it is. And yeah, I mean, if you've seen any discoveries of this map, you will know exactly how it works. It is very difficult in those water sections to stay completely gripped up because, you know, if you oversteer, you're out. Like, that's it. You're going to slide with the reactor boosters, and you're not going to get the time that you want. This identity, not the hardest part of the map whatsoever. It's all about maintaining speed through the whole map. You can see Stuffed there has the world record with a 59.6. Oh, that's in the checkpoint. That's unfortunate. But doesn't matter either way. The ace has already come through for GxP. And yeah, this is what we were worrying about. Can Orgless actually back up their pick?
We watched yesterday. We saw GxP play this map. We knew that they were, if not the quickest team on it, if not the most consistent team on it, very capable. So maybe Orgless did see that and they said, no, we can do better than they were doing on that. But we're one round in, and that's not a big sample size, but so far, not ideal for Orgless. This time around...
Hugo again.
It's happened again. And Hugo touches a wall, Hugo drops a long way
again.
down. And GxP
Hugo
are just quicker.
Crashed. It's happened again. Sorry, I haven't been to a football game for a while. I think I need it to get out of me, you know?
I don't think I've ever actually attended a live football game.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Rugby matches.
I've attended... you know what? I haven't attended much at all. I've attended a couple of... I got a... I don't know how. Free tickets to England... What was it? England, Wales, it might have been. A couple of years ago. Very cool.
Yeah.
I'm not much of a rugby person, though. I will be completely honest.
Oh, wait. Hang on. Hold
on.
That's going to be the catch. That's going to be a round win and nothing else for GxP. But Beta Toast is consistently driving those 101.4s, 101.3s. It's a ways behind Stuffed's world record, but it is looking like a round winning time repeatedly in this map. And GxP, they'll look to go up 3-2, Twiggy.
Yeah, I think that is going to be the case as well. I think Orgless... Well, there isn't much data to go off for any team about this map, so it is difficult to know whether or not you should pick it. You don't know if you're going to be better or worse than the team you're going up against. All you have is kind of your own skill. Can you kind of back your own skill on that one? And especially on a map like this, where tiny mistakes can turn into a lot of time lost, just like that. It's very unfortunate for them that GxP look incredibly comfortable here. Beta Toast has screamed out ahead by a full second. Henkin just about ahead of Orel for the time being. Can Orel get a better speed slide here? It doesn't look any better than Henkin's approach whatsoever, but that is much better. The overtake will come on through. It's all going to come down to the identity here, but Beta Toast is already way ahead of Orel. It would take a massive mistake to get overtaken here. Can Henkin get that position back from Orel? It doesn't look like the speed is there. Orel looks good all the way to the very end. It's a new PB for all of those players. It's a good time for Beta Toast, only 1.2 seconds away from the world record, and more importantly, they get to track point.
Quick, easy, decisive. The difference between GxP and Airwalkers on this map yesterday was less that GxP were crashing the whole time, that they looked completely unfamiliar. It was just a level of confidence. And in this map, the confidence to not release through every single corner, the confidence to just hold down that accelerator the entire time is what makes a difference when both teams are practiced on it. And right now, Orgless, not only do they look maybe a little bit less confident, they're also just looking a little bit more mistake-prone. Although this time around, big crash from Beta Toast. Henkin has dropped behind by a second as well. Well, 0.6 at the moment is gaining on Orel. Orgless have the chance, though, to pick up an ace. And if Orgless pick up the ace, then there may be life left yet in this map.
Yeah, Henkin gets a really good speed slide there. It's all going to be about the approach through this turn. It's no better than Orel's. He stays about 1/10 behind, or yeah, about 1/10 now, but looking for the overtake in towards the identity. Try and limit the amount of points that Orgless are going to get out of this round. He overcooks it, goes a little too early into the turn. Now it's going to have to be a mistake there from Hugo. Beta Toast has already respawned as well, so it is Orel in first. Where is Henkin going? That is the ceiling. Beta Toast should be coming second. I don't know where he is. That's fine. Hugo, don't get overtaken by Henkin here. It's fine. They get it done. It's the round win for Orgless. Man, I don't think I've seen a round like that on Dive yet. That is wild.
That was messy. That was very messy. Orgless need an ace. That was their round to pick it up on, potentially. Thrown away a little bit in the identity, but they will still have at least one more chance here. They need to deny a round win to GxP. Easier said than done. Can Hugo keep this car out of the wall for a little while? That's been the problem, Twiggy. That's been the problem.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Just an asshole.
Yes, absolutely. That is the lesson that we have learned.
Oh,
That's
the answer was no, Twiggy. The answer was no.
Well, he didn't hit a wall. He just went on a journey off to the left there somewhere. That was the one open section of the map. That's the one place that there is no wall if you drive off of the intended line. But right now, BetaToast and Henken on for an ace. Orell's going to have to do some hard work to keep up with these two. It's almost a full second down from the leader now. And going into the identity, well, apart from last round, there haven't been too many mistakes whatsoever, so it should be pretty secure. If one of them makes a mistake, it's not the end of the world either, and you can see Henken playing it quite safe, slowing down on each of these turns to make sure they get it done. Hugo respawns, it's a PB for Henken, and more importantly, it's an ace for GxP. They get that map against Orgless's map pick, against the grain, and they head into match point map.
Sometimes, Twiggy, I hate being right. I really do dislike being correct. We called it right.
I don't think that's true whatsoever.
No, I love it. Absolutely. I'm very smug right now. But we did call it at the top of the match, right? We said, okay, they've picked Dive because it's open. But GxP look like one of the regional teams, one of the teams coming out of wildcards, who look like they are at the very least competent on this track.
Yes.
And that's exactly what they were there. They weren't incredible. They weren't very confident, I would say, but they were competent. They were able to get it done, released a few times, were a second away from the world record, but they did it consistently. In Orgless, it went wrong for them, exactly as we kind of predicted it might.
Yeah, that is really unfortunate for them as well. I mean, they made a decision based off of very little information. They thought, we're good at this map, we can do it. Or at least we're good enough at this map. It wasn't their first pick, obviously. That's a pretty big factor into that one. But yeah, now heading into map 6 here, they are definitely on the back foot. Again, GxP's map pick. Yes, this is not one of the maps that they have been perfect on whatsoever. They've been beaten on this map. But it's going to be difficult. Now, definitely this is one of the maps where I think, individual skill comes into it more than practice. A lot of the time, you can find your way blindly through this map if you really need to. Yeah. But right now, Orell has already made 2 mistakes. It was awkward. He had low speed going. Hugo as well. Oh, dear. The momentum, I think, is going to catch up with them very quickly here if GxP get an ace to start things off, and they're having trouble. I mean, that's the thing, right? If you go into that ice slide with a bad gear, it's just going to get worse and worse as you keep going. Both of them respawning multiple times. I mean, GxP have so much time to work with. They could respawn twice each.
Yeah, these checkpoints, as you say, are kind of close enough together that they do have plenty of time if they want it. Won't need it. Cleanly through the map for both players in red. BetaToast wins. Henken comes second. They're the way of the world. GxP are up 3-0 on what could be the final map of the series and could lock them a spot in tomorrow's bracket.
Yeah, I mean, that is, I think, if I'm Orgless here, that's going to be pretty damning for me. That's going to feel absolutely horrible. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be very difficult to come back from. A 3-0 to start things off on, the opponent's match point here. Look, we don't talk about it very often, but momentum is very much a thing in Trackmania as well. We talk about it a lot in traditional sports, like, you get a couple of goals in football or something like that. You have that momentum, and suddenly, the mental of the other team is going to start to deteriorate. It's very much a thing in Trackmania. You've seen it time and time again. It is all that make and break whether or not you are able to pick yourself up after horrible things happen. We've seen very rarely any kind of reverse sweep happen.
Yeah. You say we talk about it rarely. I'm pretty sure I did have a monologue on it yesterday at some point as well.
Fair enough. Well,
Twiggy, we just share a single brain cell. So you know what?
Yeah,
that's fair.
That's true. That's true.
It makes sense that if you don't hear me talk about it, then you're going to come back and talk about it.
Yeah, one of my pickup lines is that not pickup lines. One of the things I tell to people is that I have 3 brain cells. So I think
line.
Yeah, it's not really a pickup line, but it works. When I say I'm dumb, people like it. I don't know why. I don't know what it is about me, but
Bring back the EP copy pasta.
Yeah. people seem to like it. Me being
dear.
dumb and
oh god, it's still there. I did genuinely read that in full during one of the breaks yesterday and just considered turning the stream off.
The Twiggy is very tired. They are EB.
Oh,
the Twiggy
no,
has had a long
don't
day
bring
of
it
talking
onto
loud
the
and wants to just
broadcast.
take a
No.
small sleep. They EB and Nibby's this sleepy.
Oh, the VOD was so untainted right up until that point.
Yeah, well.
Well,
This
yeah,
is what
that's
you get
definitely not true.
if you watch our stream. That's how it works.
It's so true.
I'm waiting to see the viewer count drop by 50 here, but we'll see. If it raises after that, that's a problem.
That's scary. Hey,
Yeah.
GxP, look, bringing it back on track because GxP are on track to win this map and win this match 4-2. They seem to like 6 maps just as a number, whether it's winning or losing. They lost in 6 yesterday. They are on pace to win in 6 today. Orel looking to deny, at least in this round, another ace and maybe keep things alive for the moment. Hugo has had a struggle of it today a little bit, and I think, look, full credit to Hugo for stepping up very late in this World Cup cycle and
absolutely.
managing to play at the level that they are playing at. Some of these players have been practicing these maps since they were released, and that has not been the case for Hugo, and has absolutely still given a very good account of themselves nonetheless. But in rounds like this, it just kind of does show, right? Henkin and Beta Toast just have the consistency, they have the pace, and they'll pick up another ace.
Yeah, and I think the thing as well is not just practice. Look, these Grand League teams especially have had a lot of time to practice because they've not been playing matches. I think match experience is so much more important than just pure practice. Yes, you can be fast. That's not going to matter if you don't know what the opposition are good at, or if they have more experience making a mistake and recovering from it. Because in practice, you just respawn. You go back to the start, you go, I want to set a new PB. You don't go, oh, I crashed a little, let's finish this round out as quick as possible. That's something you only do in live rounds, and it seems, I mean, the case is that a lot of these teams that came through regionals, came through wildcard, are doing better than teams that were in the Challenger League, are doing better than teams that are in the Grand League in cases, and yeah, I think it's a massive factor.
And I mean, part of it just seems to be that they want to prove that they can get this success, and that it has been very
I mean, match
impressive
experience with these specific maps, obviously,
and
not
in the
match
specific
experience
format,
in general.
2v2 as well, right? We know that Hugo is very experienced in other forms of competition. By the way, Orel and Henkin are respawning wildly at the back, but Hugo is going to crash. So Beta Toast is going to win the round. Orel continues to respawn.
Of the
Hugo has respawned again. That's the ace. That's the match.
Far away. Yeah. That's one way to go out. That is unfortunate. I mean, that is just Tempest for you.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
There's
yeah,
a
well done,
storm
GxP.
coming, Harry.
Harry?
It's Harry Potter, and I don't know.
I don't know if I ever heard that. To be fair, I don't remember much about Harry Potter, but I don't think that was in it. There's a storm. Have you conflated it with winter is coming, and then suddenly just, I don't know, like something's happened there? You're just piling together all these like high fantasy things.